What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. So, Russell Westbrook, we already talked about a couple days ago about his injury and his hand injury. Now, the update on it is he's going to have surgery. And, the possible return for Russell Westbrook is going to be somewhere near the playoffs. And, that's going to be kind of like a hit or miss situation, tricky kind of because, this injury kind of didn't need to happen for the Clippers because honestly, when you're trying to build chemistry with everybody needs to be there. Everybody needs to be on the same page. The good thing is Russ has played a lot of games with them this season and they've played a lot of games. They've won a lot of games together, especially before the All-Star break. So the rhythm, may not be as hard to get back into in the swing of things, but they're definitely going to need Russell Westbrook and don't think they're not because as I said before, Russell Westbrook is an extra playmaker for them. And the way Russ can still get to the rim, the way he'll cut to the basket without the ball, move without the ball, that's an extra 10 plus points per game that are crucial for them. Because if you look at some of the games that they've lost against the Milwaukee Bucks, against the Lakers, games like that, or, just in games in general that they lost, maybe not specific games, but some of the close games that they're having coming down the stretch, like against the Milwaukee Bucks, if they had possibly Russell Westbrook, maybe that's a little bit different because Russ is going to give you a 10 to 12 points per game. He's going to play hard on defense. He's going to push the ball on a fast break to where the Clippers get extra points. And, it's like it puts the defense on their heels rather than with James Harden. It's more of half court basketball because James Harden doesn't play with the aggression. He doesn't move as fast as Russell Westbrook does, especially on a fast break or anything like that. And he's not as aggressive as Russ is in regards to the way Russ, aggressively goes to the basket like he's about to score himself or maybe pass it off to Kawhi and Kawhi comes out with a dunk or maybe give it to Terrence Mann on the wing, trailing to the basket. So it's like when you think about little things like that, Russ is more of a threat to score when he goes to the basket. Everybody knows James Harden is really just looking to either pass it off to somebody else, bring the ball down court slow, get into the sets, or he's looking to just shoot a three and maybe possibly, gain a 4-point play. That's pretty much his whole game now. You know what I'm saying? So, and maybe he can assist the ball a little bit better, of course, than Russ can. But like I say, he plays more of the half court style of basketball, which is really going to be needed because, in the playoffs, half court style of basketball really is more predicated. So, there is, a method to the madness there. There is, accountability for that. That's what they're going to need as well. So my point is, but what Russ gives them is a little bit different. He kind of gives them that burst of energy where they don't look like they have at some of these games without him being there. And like I said, Russ can also surprise you with a 20-point game. He can come out, knock down a few threes, get hot, and he can go at the defense and put them on their heels. And like I said, somebody else, another player that moves without the ball and another playmaker, that's huge for the Clippers. That actually makes their offense run a lot better, even though Russ doesn't do a lot of scoring. So, I mean, him being there definitely is the big deal. And like I said, I believe he's one of the vocal leaders, if not the vocal leader, possibly for the team. So, I mean, that type of presence not being there is definitely missed. And like I said, now we have to depend more on Bones Highland. It's like, well, that's good, but Bones could be a wild card at times. There's times where Bones plays really good. There's times where Bones is kind of like, hit or miss a little bit. He can shoot better than Russ. I will give him that. His shooting percentage is better. I mean, he's more likely to knock down a three at a higher percentage than Russ can and things like that. But he's just not Russell Westbrook. You see what I'm saying? He still doesn't bring that type of presence on the floor. He doesn't have that type of presence because he hasn't been in the league that long and he hasn't really, got himself situated in the league to where he has that type of presence amongst other players. So, I mean, when we think about that in its entirety, Russ is missed in a lot of the little ways. And like I said, the little things always turn into big things over time. That's just the way it is, especially when you're playing in big games and big moments where you have to be you have to win basically, which is in the playoffs. And that's where Russ would actually some of his his heroics actually comes into play. If you remember last year in the playoffs against the Phoenix Suns, yeah, Kawhi was hooping. Kawhi was the dude. But, a couple of those little possessions, Russ goes up for a rebound, one hands it, gets the Clippers an extra possession because he's playing like a big man in the paint. He's just being more aggressive and gets Kawhi that extra three. Kawhi knocks down the extra three in game one, puts them up by 6 points with like 2 minutes to go. And it kind of, put the Suns on edge. And then Russ makes the big block against Devin Booker and throws it off him, goes out of bounds. That's one of the biggest plays in that game. Besides the 3-pointers that Kawhi hit back to back that really just put him over the top. But that play by Russell Westbrook where he threw it off of Devin Booker, that really kind of sealed the deal. And that's my thing. Russ does those little things that they don't really have right now. And that's going to be key for them in the playoffs also. So, you got to have Russell Westbrook there. They need their big fours. So don't ever get it confused. They need their big four. All of them complement each other in some type of way, in where they're going to be, needed and usable. So, that's the reason why they went on that. They won 27 out of 32 games or something like that before the All-Star break, because they was really rolling, because they was really putting it together to where it's like everybody is needed, everybody is being useful, and everybody is playing at a level to where everybody's feeding off of one another. So I hope that Russ comes back right before the playoffs, because they're going to need his presence. And it'd be nice if he comes back, maybe at least about a week and a half before the playoffs. I'm not talking maybe 2 or 3 days, or maybe they got 2 or 3 games left going right into the playoffs. They need to come back about a week and a half, 2 weeks. That would be better to kind of get his rhythm a little bit and kind of test that hand out and kind of, be able to take some contact and, go full throttle the way Russ does. Because, like I said, the Clippers, they can't fall this time. They have to find a way to win, and having all 4 of their star players there, well, that definitely is going to better their chances.